The townland of Dunhill, one of the three villages in the parish of Dunhill and Fenner, derives its name from the ancient fortress, or dune. 2 miles to the south of the modern village of Dunhill, on a high rock, lay the ruins of Dunhill Castle, a tower house. There also remains the ruin of a church and graveyard. Between the castle and the church would have stood the medieval village of Dunhill. It mainly consisted of a string of wooden houses. The castle was probably built by Sir Robert Le Poer, one of the 5 men of that name who accompanied Henry II in his invasion of Ireland. Henry and his men landed at Crook, near Passage East, on the 17th of October 1171. The Le Poers, or Power, of Dunhill were infamous in the 14th century, as they launched many attacks in Waterford City. After a defeat in Tramore in 1368, the castle passed to the powers of Kilmeaden. It remained in their control until the Cromwellian attack on Dunhill and its first capture in 1649. Countess Giles Fitzgerald defended Dunhill Castle against Cromwell's attack. Day and night, or so the story goes, she was on the ramparts urging on the garrison to resist to the death. One of her retainers, a skillful engineer, was able to counter all the efforts of the attackers, and Cromwell, unable to take the castle, raised the siege and prepared to march away. It is said that the Countess ordered buttermilk to be served to the men, as she felt it would not be prudent to serve wine with the enemy so near at hand. Dissatisfied at this, the engineers signalled the surrender of the castle to the Cromwellians. They blew up the castle with gunpowder, and we are told the Countess was killed during the attack. As for the traitor engineer, Cromwell hanged him close by because he couldn't tolerate a traitor. Dunhill Castle was almost inaccessible on 2 sides, and on the other sides its defences seem to have had a great deal of artificial strength. The only vulnerable part is well defended by a stone wall and deep fosse or hole, enclosed in a courtyard of about 50 square yards. After entering the courtyard, the passage to the castle was ascended by a steep flight of stone steps, which led to a gate defended by a portcullis. He then entered into a small courtyard which appears to have contained a still smaller enclosure of about 12 square feet, and the door of the castle was at length seen. All the various approaches already mentioned were carefully defended by loopholes and embrasures, and on entering the castle itself, the usual square trap door or murder hole was placed over the passage. Tower houses have been identified as having some regional typologies, but common features have been included in this model. The plan is divided into 2 unequal parts, with the entrance and spiral stairs in small section, vaulted hall and main living rooms in larger section. There were usually 3 stories or more, with the ground floor walls having a batter and being up to 6 foot in thickness. The vault was not always located on the ground floor. The upper floors were constructed of timber, normally oak beams supported on large stone corbels. They would have had pitched roofs with merlons and crenels, the whole often referred to as crenellations. There was normally a murder hole where would-be attackers could be doused with boiling liquids or a hail of arrows from above. They would contain secret passages or chambers for hiding or escape in times of attack. The Irish Tower House could be portrayed as the Irish castle par excellence, and is thought over 3,000 examples were built between 1400 and 1650. In some parts of the country, particularly in areas of good agricultural land in Munster and South Leinster, the density of tower houses is quite remarkable.